And then he says,
"Are you lost, baby girl?"
"Ooh," I hate that line. I don't like it. It's really cringing and embarrassing, and I don't know what to do. It's just like, ugh. Oh. Over the weekend, I made the worst mistake of my life. I saw the worst movie known to mankind called 365 Days. Okay. No, it actually wasn't funny because it was horrible. It was bad. No, really, it was really, really bad. When I was watching the reviews, I'm like, y'all are dramatic. Y'all need to chill. Like, y'all need to really calm down. It's not that bad. I was wrong. The movie essentially starts off with businesswoman Laura and businessman Massimo. Massimo is in Italy and he's part of a mob. It's like a family owned business, if you were even to call that. He's part of a mob, and essentially his father is talking about a deal with these two guys, and they're having a transaction. And while they're having their business meeting, Massimo is looking over the ledge, and he's looking at the beautiful scenery, and then he sees a woman, Laura, ironically. And Laura, I don't know what she's doing. She's doing some whimsical dance. She's doing like a whimsical dance. I don't know what she's doing. She's doing something. And he sees her, and while he's watching her, his father comes up and he walks to Massimo. And he says, Massimo, one of these days you're gonna inherit the family business. And one of these days you're going to be the leader of this company. I need you to stand up to the plate, step up to the plate, and be the leader that you're called to be. As he's talking to him, impeccable timing, someone shoots Massimo's father in the back and it hits his heart. And it hits Massimo in the process. Massimo's father dies, but Massimo falls unconscious. The last thing he sees before he falls unconscious is Laura. Okay? She's basically above him doing her whimsical dance. It's not funny because his father died. It really isn't funny. In his mind, he's like, this was meant to be. I got shot at the exact moment she was doing her dance. This is destiny. Therefore, I need to meet her. This is destiny, and we need to be together. He literally just fell in love with her just from seeing her. In romance movies and rom-coms, there are many tropes. And I'm only going to name 4 of them. Okay, the first trope is boy falls in love with a girl at first sight or at first glance. This happened all the time. This happens in Cinderella. Okay, this happens in Sleeping Beauty. This happens in Twilight, you know. Edward sees Bella and he's enticed by her. He's enticed by her smell. He says that the scent of your blood is intoxicating. I can't control myself. And then he says, I also am intrigued by you because I can't read your thoughts like everyone else.
I don't have the strength to stay away from you anymore.
Then don't.
There's a scene where he's at the restaurant, remember? And he says, I can read everyone's mind except for yours. That's the reason I'm intrigued by you. This also happens in 50 Shades of Grey when Anastasia is at the office. And Christian Grey doesn't fall in love with her because she's particularly smart. It says that she's not particularly good at anything. Not gifted in a talent. The only thing that she's really good at is like chewing a pencil. Literally, she's good at chewing a pencil, but okay. She's not that pretty. It says that she's plain Jane. There's nothing outstanding about her in any essence of the word. So why does he fall in love with her? Because she's just intriguing. Love at first sight. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do, ladies, is walk into a room and the guy is all yours. And a lot of us, we may not say this out loud, but we gulp this theme as if that's our expectations. As soon as we walk into the room, he knew that I was the one. And usually in a relationship, you first you're attracted to a person, and then you like their personality, and their personality is compatible with your personality, and you like their character, and your morals and your values match up. And then after spending time with that person, you fall in love, and then you find out you want to be committed to that person. Nope, not in romance, not in rom-coms. As soon as I saw her, I just knew she was the one. That's how I met your mother. And that's just, this is not realistic. So he falls in love with her, and 5 years later, he's on this venture on finding out who she is. He searches for her, stalks her. He looks for her for 5 years. He looks for her for 5 years, and stalking is not cute. That's not sexy. On her 29th birthday, her boyfriend surprises her with this birthday vacation, and they take a trip to Italy. The only thing that's wrong about this trip is her boyfriend's not spending any time with her. He's not even paying attention to her. All he is doing is work. He isn't paying attention to her, and this is supposed to be about her and her birthday and her vacation. And he's not spending time with her, and she gets super frustrated. She actually pushes him into the pool. She gets super frustrated. She doesn't want to talk to him, which is fair. So she goes by herself in a foreign country, alone, at night. Out of all the times you could have walked by yourself to get air, you chose the nighttime, but go ahead, Laura, you independent woman, whatever. Wants to clear her head, so she's walking in town, and lo and behold, someone kidnaps her. Duh. But that's what's going to happen. And she wakes up. When she wakes up, what's really alarming is she's too calm. She's way too calm. She's waking up like, oh my, where am I? Oh my, like, you're too calm, ma'am. You're way too calm for my liking. Okay, that was me. I'll be really frantic. I'll be scared. Okay, I'm scared. So she wakes up, she walks out of the room. When she walks into the living room, she sees a portrait of herself. And she feels as if someone's watching her from behind. And when she turns around, it's Massimo.
Are you speaking her?
I hate that. Oh my god, I'm getting like chills. Like, I hate when he says that. It's so, I'm allergic to cringing things. I'm actually allergic. Like, I get chills, I get itchy, and I get the heebie-jeebies. Like, that's just really, the writer was thinking, this is a line. In his head, he was killing it, but no, he wasn't. I want to know who the author of 365 Days is. There we go. Just curious, who wrote this? Here we see there's like 4 people who wrote the screenplay, but we do have a primary person, her, Blanka Lipinska. Hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. And she is the author of 365 Days. Just curious, because if there's 4 people who are creating the screenplay, that should be more people telling you that some of the ideas that you have created aren't that good. Accountability, perhaps, but no, there is not. And then she's like, why am I here? And then he explained to her, you don't remember me? But 5 years ago, you're at the beach where I was in Italy. And at that exact moment while you were on the beach, my father died. And I took it as a sign that we were meant to be together.
Laura has 365 days to fall in love with Massimo.
She's like, okay, first of all, I don't know you. You're weird. I don't know you. Get away from me. So she tries to leave twice. She's unsuccessful, actually. There's a part where she gets his gun. And I'm like, girl, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. She doesn't shoot him. She takes an eternity and a half to shoot him. And then by that time, he takes the gun away from her. If that was me, what about... I'm paranoid. I want to make sure you die. I want to make sure you die. Or I'll shoot you a few times and then save the rest of the bullets so I can escape, just to make sure that no one like attacks me. Like, no. I'm leaving. The next scene, they go shopping and he's rich. Like, he rich. Moolah. Green. Beret. He's buying her so much things. And this specifically is intriguing because this happens in a lot of films. Which brings me to my second trope. That girl falls in love with boy because he's rich and or handsome. And we as women in these movies, we excuse a lot of unexcusable behavior solely because he's rich and handsome. You may not say that out loud, but it does influence your decisions. He kidnaps her, he drugs her, she faints, he holds her hostage against her will. But it's okay in a romance film because he's rich and he's cute. I'm here to tell y'all, just because you cute, don't make it an excuse. Just because you cute, don't make it an excuse. That should be a song. You cute, don't make it an excuse. That should be a song. Okay. And this happens in real life too, even vice versa for men. A girl may be high maintenance, rude, but he will excuse her behavior because she got this and she got this. And they'll excuse that behavior because she's cute. You're trying all these outfits and they have a fight because he walks on her changing. She's like, you're rude. She runs away with her heels on. If that was me, my heels would have been taken off so I can run faster. She escapes. She runs into these police officers and then she's like, yes, good job, Laura. Good job. She's explaining to them what happened to her, and lo and behold, behind her, Massimo shows up, and as soon as the police officer sees him, they're like, hey sir, how are you? How's it going? How's your family? Laura, you're not gonna escape. First of all, you're in Italy, he's a local, he's well known, he's a very powerful man, they know him, they're cool with him. From that moment, she knew she wasn't gonna escape.
Are you lost, baby girl?
This is just really bad writing. Later that afternoon, they have a dinner. It's actually very pretty. It's like a candlelight dinner, and he hires like a personal chef, and she's dressed up and he's dressed up and they look really nice. And then he asks her this.
I'd like you to teach me how to be gentle.
Which brings me to my third trope. Girl can change boy, especially bad boy. This is not Build-A-Bear, Build-A-Man. I'm not your maid, your mother, your babysitter. I'm not Jesus. I'm not here to save you. Save yourself. Massimo, he needs therapy. He needs Jesus. His father died in front of him. He doesn't need a woman to fix him. He needs help. He needs clinical help. And he wants this woman to fall in love with him. And like, she can't change you.
We as women, we love a good project, especially a man project. We love the idea that we can change you for the better. But guess what?
The only man that you can change is under 2 years old and he's still in a diaper. In a nutshell, he doesn't actually change. She changes her mind. You know, it's shocker. She falls in love with him, duh. But he doesn't end up changing because he does things that he promised not to do. He promised her, I'm not gonna touch you unless you want me to. He touches her, he grabs her, he touches her inappropriately. He doesn't end up changing. She's the one who changes her mind. You know, and he's playing a game with her and she plays a game with him back. There's this one scene where she wanted to make him jealous. I don't know why do you want to make him jealous? Like, he's your kidnapper. She tries to make him jealous because he made her jealous first, and she gets him back by dressing in a really cute dress, and her ponytail was up and it was cute, it was fire. That whole look, yes ma'am. She goes out, she makes him jealous with another guy, but the guy gets a little bit carried away with himself, so he starts touching her inappropriately and she don't like it. And what ends up happening is Massimo ends up shooting the man. That man is a member of his family, which caused division. And it turns into this whole big drama, which partially is because of Laura's fault. Massimo and his uncle are arguing, and Massimo's uncle's like, can you drop off this girl somewhere? She's just causing drama within the family. And Laura overhears their conversation. She's like, I'm sorry. And Massimo's like, no, you're not. Because if you're sorry, you wouldn't have done what you did. And she's just like, they just argue back and forth. They argue back and forth. And then Laura ends up, like, falling off of the ship. Yep. She ends up falling off of the ship. It's really funny. Like, she dives in like this. He saves her. And she's so grateful that he saves her off of the ship. So she repays him with cookies. You know, they get busy for like 10 hours. Like, it feels like 10 hours. It's a whole montage of them get it in, and it's unnecessary. Like, that night they go to a ball. Massimo runs into his ex, and his ex, Anna, says, why haven't you been calling me? And he says, because I have a new girl. You not her. And Anna says, okay, but watch out for your new girlfriend because she could be in danger. And he heeds that warning because that's definitely a threat. It's a very subtle threat, but it's a threat. And Laura sees Anna for the first time, and she's just like, who is she? You didn't tell me you had an ex. And he's like, yeah, I do. And he explains to her the whole situation and how she could be somewhat in danger. And that doesn't really sit well with her. So she's not really feeling being at the ball anymore. So she goes home. They get busy again. This movie is just ridiculous. That was the moment when Massimo said, I love you to Laura. As soon as he said, I love you to Laura, he says, you have to go back to Poland.
I'm sorry, it just hit me just now.
Laura is like, what? I'm going back to Poland? He's like, yeah, you're going back to Poland. He flies her back to Poland, where he meets her best friend Olga. And Olga's like, where have you been? Where have you been? And she's like, yeah, I've fallen for the gangster. But besides that, everything's good. And Olga's like, what? You crazy. You just went to a different country for a whole year. Don't want to call no one. You crazy. She's like, yeah, I'm crazy, but I'm crazy in love. And so she explains to her best friend what happens, and her best friend's like, okay, whatever. And Olga's like, you know what? Forget about him. Forget about him. Whatever. Let's celebrate. Let's get out of town. They leave. They go out shopping. They go out partying, and they go to the hair salon. Laura dyes her hair. Yeah, she's having a great time until she runs into her ex. Her ex is like, hey, Laura, girl, I love you. Let's go back together. I miss you. And she's like, You know that time that you're busy? Yeah, I knew that you were cheating. I knew that you were cheating. And he's like, girl, how did you find out? Anywho, let's get back together. Forgive me. And she's like, now, get away from me. He follows her all the way up to her apartment. And they're arguing and they're arguing. And lo and behold, look who pops up. Massimo. Massimo pops up. And Massimo's like, get away from her. She's mine. And he's like, okay, you got it. You got it. And then she sees Massimo. And he's like, you know how stereotypical these romance movies are? Like, the girl be fighting the guy. And then they just end up kissing and making out. That's just literally what it is. So instead of making out, they get busy once again. They after, you know, they spend some time with each other, he puts a ring on her finger and he proposes. And then she admits that she loves him. Which leads me to my fourth and final trope. If boy is persistent enough, girl will fall in love with him. Do you see how that can be problematic? She said, no, I don't like you. No, I don't like you. In real life, you get a charge. In real life, you get a charge. There is no, let me just keep trying. For your career, for your education, yes. For opportunities, yes. In relationships with people, no. You get a restraining order. You get called a stalker. Like, it's not cute to fall in love with your kidnapper. No. And essentially the rest of the movie is basically her planning her wedding. So she says yes, obviously. She introduces her fiance to her parents. She can't invite her parents to the wedding because Massimo doesn't want to risk the chance of them finding out what he does. The only person that she can invite is her best friend Olga. I love Olga. Okay, I think she's great. She is so cute. And I sense like a little like cute moment between Laura Driver and Olga. I thought that was just super cute. So I hope they end up together in the second movie. I really do, but whatever. And Laura explains what happens and how he proposed and how she said yes. Olga, the reason why she's my favorite character is because she's the only one in the movie who has common sense. And she says, you have a mansion, but you have no liberty, you have no freedom. If you were to leave, you would essentially have to be watched or looked over, aka babysitted. You have to have a babysitter because you know you can't leave the house, you can't leave the mansion if you wanted to. So yes, it's a huge mansion, but you're essentially a prisoner. But her friends like, you know what, whatever, I'm gonna support you. And they go dress shopping and she finds this beautiful dress. It's so cute. It's like a mermaid with glaze. It's so cute. It's like a timeless dress. It's cute. They drive home. Massimo's uncle gets a call that someone is trying to kill Laura. He runs to get Massimo, and by the time he gets to Massimo, it's too late. Massimo hears a gunshot on the phone while he's talking to Laura, and he drops down and starts tearing up, which implies the audience to believe that something happened to Laura. Which I don't think is gonna happen because A, you can't kill the main character. Okay, it's a trilogy, and B, she's pregnant, and I don't think the director is that cruel to kill a pregnant woman. And then the movie fades to black. Okay, this movie was so bad. It was so bad. The writing is bad. The acting's okay. The only person I like is Olga. And if she dies, if I find out that she dies in the sequel, I'm suing the director. Alright, you guys. Peace, love, respect. See you later.